what you are looking at is a game called Caliber. Claims to be a tactical third-person shooter, and I think it does a pretty good job of that. These are some clips I got from the time playing, and honestly, this game really does remind me of SOCOM, third-person shooters like Gears of War. You could even say The Division, and I haven't really realized it, but I've kind of been itching to play a third-person shooter, and this does a good job of doing that. So I wanted to talk about what I liked about the game, what I disliked, what it's about, what other game publishers can learn from a game like this. So this game is free to play, and it has tons of content, so that already of in itself is one of the reasons that I decided to even install this game. And honestly, it's been pretty fun. I put a decent amount of hours in it. I'm showing a bunch of operators that they have, and I think they have like more than 60, like more than 80 operators from a bunch of different countries. But since it is free to play, you already know that comes with a decent amount of microtransactions, but that's mostly a pay to progress type of system, and honestly, I don't really mind it. Like if you like a game, you're gonna spend money on it. That's kind of how it goes nowadays. I feel like most games kind of have this model. I knew I heard someone. This game offers PvP, where you're doing like either search and destroy or a team deathmatch type of game mode, or you're doing PvE, which is like you and a fire team going against a bunch of bots. Both pretty fun. And they also have like a mix of both, kind of like a Tarkov situation, PvP plus bots. If you have a group of friends and you all hop into a fire team, this game can be pretty fun. One thing that I'm asking myself when playing this game is how good can a third-person shooter actually be? This game kind of made me wonder, who knows, what if a AAA publisher decided to make a really good third-person shooter that wanted to compete with like Apex, Valorant, even like Call of Duty? Like what would that take and what would that look like? It's hard to even say if companies will even decide to go that route because of how popular first-person shooters are, but it'd be cool to see a big company take a big swing at something like that. I don't know, it's a good change of pace. Like there's not a lot of good third-person shooter games out there that are competitive and that have been alive for a long time and will honestly like live out some other games. What I feel Caliber does well is balancing the third-person camera angle, because when you're playing third-person, you can easily pull a cheap move and just like shoulder peek around a corner without exposing your body and being shot at. And I never really liked that, but this game does have a good job of having a longer TTK. What I mean by that is like you can have a bunch of meds and stims on your character, and even though it can get kind of repetitive to take damage, heal, take damage, heal, it still keeps you alive longer, making the battles last a little bit longer and drawing out the game. If you like that sort of a thing, it does feel tactical. It does feel like a slower pace. It doesn't really feel like you're spying and dying, but that does make the exchanges last a little bit longer. No, it's just another flavor of shooting games, and honestly, I kind of grown to like it. I really had a decent amount of time playing PvP games, and that's kind of surprising because I'm not really the one to try a bunch of different games, but this game actually stood out to me. What another thing this game does well is being able to be like tactical. It does a good job of blending arcadey and campy mechanics to a tactical game. Like it doesn't really take itself too serious, but on the other hand, it does have things like stamina management. Like you can't just hold down sprint. Your guy will get tired, and you need to be able to manage your sprint unless you stim, but the stims do take their animation time. Same thing with like armor plates. You have to watch your armor plates. Some characters will have more armor than others. It just depends what character you're playing. It's just more animation time that you have to deal with. It's part of the game, and I don't really mind it. It does add another mechanic. It's just cool to see another game company take another swing, and I don't know, maybe with time there could be some improvements in these mechanics, but for now they're pretty decent to me. I don't really mind them. This game also does have limited ammo capacity in your mags. You're not responding with full mags every time. Even every round of PvP matches, you have to either restock at an ammo cache or pick up ammo from another player on your team. You have limited ammo, and you do need to watch your ammo. And if you're like me, you're gonna be shooting at anything that moves, and you're gonna be running out of ammo almost all the time, which is super important that you like manage your ammo. And I kind of like that, even though at times it could be really annoying to run through everything, hold W, and shoot everything in the face, you do have to watch your ammo, so it does kind of make it feel that tactical kind of aspect. Like it does have a little bit of realism baked into it, and it's pretty cool. But you know, this game is still pretty arcadey. It does have some bugs, it does have some issues, and the content can be there. There has a lot of operators that you can unlock, but I feel like once you unlock them, like how much good can the game get? The game modes are cool. I do like the PvP and the PvE. It kind of adds a lot to the game. I've kind of gotten to the age where I don't really want to be the best player per se. I kind of just want to like kill some hard bots on like a high difficulty. I don't know, that's just my taste, and that's kind of how I'm evolving. This game does have a decent amount of, the movement doesn't feel clunky. It doesn't really feel like a Gears of War kind of clunky, even though this game is on the heavier side. Your character does feel heavy. You can't really move around too quickly, but honestly, it's just part of the game, and it does kind of mix things up for me. So some things that I would really like to see added to the game are like better single player missions or better PvE missions missions, better maps. What I mean about PvE missions is maybe having a little bit more of a campaign and kind of have some better objectives than just running around and killing all the enemies in front of you. Like right now, it just feels like they're just throwing bots at you. That's fine, but I would like to see more of a campaign aspect added to it. Also, I kind of wish they added like wall hugging or some kind of Gears of War movement to it. It's already in third person, so I think some wall hugging and maybe moving cover to cover would be a lot more smoother than just having your guy be right next to a wall and just crouch. The game movement doesn't feel too sluggish, so for now, I'll take it, honestly. It's not that deep, but you know, I would like to see some improvement added to it for sure. I mean, this game is pretty cool. Like, I kind of been enjoying it. As of right now, it kind of has a decent player base on Steam, and I know this game was popular before it even came to Steam. So I'd like to see the game, you know, be updated, be more improved over time, and who knows, maybe a game publishing company can look at this and make their own spin-off. It's just cool to see these kind of games come out and take their own spin on things and have a decent amount of content going for them. Honestly, this game would be super sick if it had a nice single player to it. If it was more Ghost Recon, even SOCOM, like the old PlayStation PSP days, it would be really fun to play. I would definitely play the shit out of a game like that. Like if a SOCOM like 4K 60 FPS came out today on PC, I would be all over that. That's just kind of like my childhood. That's what I grew up on, playing those kind of games. So it's just cool to see a third-person shooter kind of come out to this. But hopefully this game does well. Hopefully Caliber comes up with more updates, more improvements, and this game does have a good run and a good lifespan. But yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you made it this far, and I'll see you on the next one.